Hi, Delco. We have an episode for you today where we're going to talk about beef jerky with Ron from Fat Cow Jerky. But first, this was in the prep, and we had decided we have to go live with it. Al is wrong about something, and he claims he's very right.
There's something new.
If you are in a couple,
I mean, I'm on both sides of this.
If you're in a couple relationship,
Ron's here to figure out our
here to mediate because
me and Homer are about to have a domestic dispute. He's here to mediate it.
There's not enough oil to rub you guys down.
Yeah.
If you call in an order and someone else is picking it up, you still use your name.
Nope.
Yes.
Lies. If you are knowingly not picking up the food, if you're just the one calling in the food and somebody else is picking up the food, it is under the person who's... Why would I go in? All right, so this was what happened. The story was my wife called in the food. I was picking it up after work one day, and she put it under her name. That's what happened with the story. That's kind of the short and simple of the story. And I said, well, why would you call it in under your name if I'm the one picking it up? I'm not going in there, and especially like... All right, if it's my buddy Bob's doing it and I say I'm Bob, okay, they can understand. Like, hi, I'm Dawn. No, you're not. I just look like a fat guy trying to buy somebody else's food. Dawn? I can. I mean, if the food's right.
Where was this?
Best Quality in Clifton Heights.
Fun fact. So she's dialed from her phone number before. So it's going to come up as Dawn anyway, and they're just making sure
it doesn't.
It's the right
it comes up at your address, not your name.
Oh no, it's saved whatever that number's under it because you've called there before. They have it saved on the account.
But I asked her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I did put it under my name. My bad." She said it.
You're adding details here, and either way, it's still fine because she called in because they guarantee they just said, "What's your name, hon?" And she said, "Dawn. Here's my order."
Okay.
And then you went in.
You don't say, "Oh,
I'm Al. I'm a chauvinist. I don't know why the woman was allowed on the fucking dial phone. Who let her out of the kitchen? She didn't even cook this food."
If you knowingly, if you, me and you're hanging out, I'm like, all right, dude, you pick up the food, I'll call it in. I'd be like, Chris will be picking this up, or Hollywood would be picking this up.
So I'm going to walk in there and go, "Hi, C. Kane Pizza. My name's Hollywood. I'd like to pick up my poison."
Well, here's the other thing. What if you're over somebody else's house and you call from your cell phone and you get delivery and it links back to your house?
Well, that's what you're saying.
Now you're really shit out of
Well, no, you sit there and you go, well, not that address.
Yeah.
You said this is the address.
Well, after a couple
it doesn't matter whose name is. It doesn't matter whose name is if you're having it delivered. You just need the address.
You didn't have to berate that teenage phone girl like you did because your wife called in an order under her name.
Teenage. I didn't berate her. I berated my wife.
You called her a slur.
How did I call her a slur?
I have no idea.
They literally say you're a slur.
Yeah.
Hello, slur. So welcome to Delco Live.
What an entrance.
It's me.
I wouldn't expect
if we just turn the cameras on every time me and Holbrook didn't agree with something, that's all that would be. It'd be constant. Just follows around with a camera.
My wife puts it under her name. Like it's like, oh.
It was inconvenient for 30 seconds.
Once you explained the order, did you understand it? Did they understand it?
I said, once I told them it should consist of this stuff as well. The reason we were telling that story is because we were talking because we have Ron from Fat Cow Jerky here, and we were talking about meats, of course. And I was talking about the one point, and I know it's still expensive now, but how, remember when wings were, on a shortage?
Yeah, chicken was one of the most expensive products.
I walked in, and, once we figured out who the order was for, I had...
After she was done crying and I was done punching.
we ordered 2 large pizzas and an order of wings.
A Diet Coke for my diabetes.
Yeah. No sugar in pizza. We're fine. And she ordered wings, I don't know, 20 or whatever. And they're like,
not enough.
They're like $100.
That's insane.
2 pizzas and 20 wings.
It may have been 20, 25 wings, somewhere in that range, yeah.
Yeah. So the other
no more than 30, but I'm pretty sure it was around 20 or 25.
Price of meat
it was only 60.
Yeah, it was 900. Yeah, but I was I'm like, she's like 99 something. I'm like, is there something else on that order? She ordered 16 cheese fries. Did I miss something here? No.
Well, that was actually the tax on berating the girl.
Yeah.
The name. That's actually what it was.
That's actually how much the fine was.
Take that,
Heights Police Department. Yeah, dude, you're not crazy, man.
I'm going home.
I've been coming back to the area and picking up some Paul Revere from my dad. And I love Paul Revere, and I'm telling you,
this is for my dad.
Yeah.
Dad gives. There's one slice of pizza left in the box. Here you go, Dad.
Star Pops.
I just got to bite out of the middle of it somehow.
Picks up like McDonald's. He always has those 2 cheeseburgers for the road.
Yeah.
I need 2 single cheeseburgers to go.
No, that is always one of my favorite things. Like, we're gonna need,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna need.
Did you ever do the what? What was that?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Let me check my
He wants
phone.
a Big Mac.
honey, not 20. You need 40 McNuggets. Oh, it's, she's
Hold on.
pregnant. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to think about what else I want to add to the order. Hold on, I'm trying to read this person's information, like what they wrote down. I have really bad handwriting. Double order nachos
And an apple pie.
and an apple.
But dude, yeah.
Oh, hold on. By the way, I had I'm a basic bitch. I'll be honest with you. I love pumpkin stuff. The McDonald's pumpkin cream cheese hot pie, pretty bang.
I don't even know that existed. That's just a lot
It
of
did. It
syllables.
did for the season.
Down south, they have like a strawberry pie. That's their normal. They
That
don't
sounds
have apple. They
amazing.
have like strawberry, and it's got like a cream cheese top on it.
That sounds so much better,
And
actually.
They actually have like sausage and biscuits and like Southern food at their Southern McDonald's. It's
When you say
weird.
South, where are we talking?
like South Carolina.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking
Well,
sad.
Well, I went to in Cleveland. I went to McDonald's that sold pizza, and a McDonald's that sold hot dogs. It was pizza and hot dogs.
Well, Ohio's just fucking weird in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did it come with a
Well,
side of
I
serial
mean,
killers too?
Delco had a weird McDonald's, the one by Upper Darby High School,
That used to sell pizza
Yeah.
and hot dogs too.
and they had like a whole deli. Like you could get like real deli and hard scooped ice cream.
They had the
I
full
remember
ice
the ice
cream.
cream.
yeah.
I
I don't know how you
remember
get
when
away
it
with that.
opened
It was
And then also a fair amount of harassment after Upper Darby gets out.
Yeah, God. God. Real
Uh,
quickly, before we get into it, let's jump into the sponsors real quick here. Hey, Delco. Would you like to sell your house quickly without having to fix anything or go through a realtor? Are you behind on your mortgage or property taxes? Did you inherit a property? Are you a landlord just tired of fixing leaky toilets? Well, we got the answer for you. Visit www.evanbuyspa.com for a no-obligation cash offer. That's right, Evan buys houses in Delco for cash, as is. For a fair cash offer, go to www.evanbuyspa.com. With Evan, you don't have to pay any commissions, and you can close on the date of your choice. If there's anything you want to leave behind on the property, like heavy furniture, trash bags, all the junk in the basement, you can do it. And for a limited time, he will cover all your closing costs. That's right. Visit evanbuyspa.com. That's evanbuyspa.com. Again, the website is evanbuyspa.com. Guys, don't forget cherryinjurylaw.com, the charity firm. You get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident.
If you get arrested for braiding someone for their wife putting in their name, and then the person doesn't understand the chicken wings are for him.
Yeah. Did you order 2 pizzas and chicken wings for yourself, sir? No. Yes. Workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal law. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com or simply call the man himself, David R. Cherry, at 610-565-0300. Or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Again, the number is 610-565-0300.
He doesn't specialize in gun law, but he has some of the sweetest fucking biceps you'll ever see.
And looking for a good time in Delco, look no further. Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park. Tan PJ will be there to help you have a good time. Quiz on music, memorabilia giveaways. Just amazing time. Always. You never know who's going to walk in the door. DolansBar.com, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Go to DolansBar.com. And last but not least, Fat Cow Jerky. That's right, FatCowJerky.com. Utterly perfect jerky, jalapeno garlic, honey habanero pickle, which we'll talk about shortly. FatCowJerky.com, Facebook, Instagram. Check them out. FatCowJerky.com. Speaking of FatCowJerky.com, what's going on?
Before we get to Ron, did PJ tell you about his recent injury?
No.
Oh, so it happened right before we played this, right before Ridley Fall Fest.
Oh, I think I know
like
what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was sharpening a knife. It slipped and it went all the way through his to the bone and shit.
Yeah.
And he had to have reconstructive surgery by the same doctor that did Bryce Harper's Tommy John.
some of these blades will literally slice.
Dude,
your finger off
fucking
now.
wild.
It's no joke.
I mean, when we worked in the restaurants, we used to have the knife people come by.
So
Because they would do all the sharpening for you and all that because you didn't want to do it.
well, a lot of guys now they have hunting knives with surgical blades that you can just swap out. So it's like, all right, you're done. I use one in the kitchen all the time.
Oh, really?
And when it gets dull, I'm just like, whoop, see it, put a new one on. I don't have to sharpen anything. And that thing is deathly sharp.
So this is Ron, the CEO, proprietor, founder, the headhunter, HR department, marketing
The trash
department,
can guy.
the trash can guy, the assembly line, the distribution, the fucking supply chain himself of Fat Cow Jerky, who has been the greatest sponsor and participant, especially in events like Delco Day, over the last couple of years. When was Fat Cow founded? Because I've lost control of time.
It was the end of 2020. It was kind of founded. It was basically like just a screw around gig, and then I found you at Cawley's the one day, and
That's right.
Oh, there's a shock.
Yeah.
and I was like, hey, you need a sponsor, and I threw jerky, and that's kind of like when it was born. It was established like very end of 2020, 2021.
That sounds right.
So you're pretty much saying Delco Live made Fat Cow Jerky awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll go with that.
Your timeline is actually fucking spot on, because I was like, I was there having dinner with
It's-
my one friend whose birthday is the end of December, and I was like,
Within 2.5, 3 years, this grew to something that I never thought would happen, and some of the shit that I've done, I'm like, wow.
So yeah, I mean,
All right.
So for those who are probably thinking, oh, what are they going to do? A 30-minute long commercial? No.
Yes.
We're bringing Ron in to tell you the story of Fat Cow, because it has become a story even for us. We're just learning about some of the amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said, you started doing it at your house. You were doing it locally, selling it to friends and family, and then some locals at the bars that you would know or something like that.
It's a very good grassroots story about a company from Delco, based in Delco, got its roots in Delco, and picked up a niche audience that then became essentially a national audience at this point.
Yeah, that's how Chicago happened earlier this month, but it was just kind of making flavors. People giving me ideas. I was doing it all out of my house, and then I found a co-packer out in Littlestown, PA, and these guys are just like you two, sitting here nonchalant, no suits and ties. We literally had a beer at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Pants are optional.
So see, it is acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, we sat there and
tell my therapist that
we went USDA approved in a Class 3 facility, so now gets produced and I can go anywhere in the U.S.
So you are an avid hunter yourself.
Yes.
Is this from product that you have gone out and got?
So I started like in my teen years in high school making venison jerky, and then I would do it for guys that were hunting and had deer, because I worked the elevator business. I couldn't really get out hunting, so I just make jerky for them and grab some for myself. And then I didn't have any venison, so I said, screw it, let me try Top Round, and then that's kind of where it just took off.
What is Top Round?
Like a London broil.
London broil, yeah.
Like a London broil. So that's a cut of meat
from a cow.
Yeah, from a cow.
Okay.
So that's what all my jerky's made out of.
That's what that's your new nickname, Holbrook. Top Round.
Top Round.
Top Round.
I like London broil. Delco broil. The I last year I hit a deer pretty hard, and I was thinking about picking it up and giving it to you.
There you go. I mean, here's some free product for you.
Most of my
you showed up with that mail.
Don't mind the
said,
asphalt.
Hey, I got this deer.
I would
have done it for you.
And you should have released it in like a limited edition packet that said 2004 Malibu.
And Ron's not kidding. He is a avid hunter to the point that he introduced me, which I did not know until to wild boar scrapple.
Oh my god, that was the best shit ever, dude.
Yes.
Yes.
I cooked so fast, but cooked so well.
Yeah, it made one of the best breakfast sandwiches I could honestly say I've ever had. And I kind of didn't know the misconception that wild boar is not considered a pork product.
So it is a pork product, but it's
or is it
very, very lean. So you actually have to add some of the pork from like a farm raised cow, like the fat back, into it.
Okay.
To make like sausages and stuff.
This is so rude to me. Would you like a Natty Light or a Lord Chesterfield?
I'm good.
Okay.
I got to wake up at like 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, so it's suck.
Don't let it.
Me too, to pee and go back to work.
Yeah.
Go back to sleep for 3 more hours.
Yeah. Right.
But so the whole meat thing, like just taking off for you, and like you said, grassroots, amazing story right there, and that's why we like working with you from the get. And you went to Chicago,
yes,
for I want to call it a snack convention, but is that
it's the Sweet and Snack Expo? So it's like the biggest.
That is Holbrook's
your diabetes
stage name, by the way.
Bonkers out there.
I was happy to have been sent to cover the Porn Expo, but I much rather would have liked the Sweets and Snack Expo.
So
if you play your cards right, it could be both.
It could.
I am going this year, and I think it's in Indiana. They want me to come back and do it again. So,
what time of the year is it?
Chance. It's in May. Yeah.
It was right before Delco Day.
It's really cool though, because it's like all the heavy hitters of every candy company and meat sticks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Meat sticks.
Oh yeah.
That's what they call Holbrook to me.
Is that like that's the jerkies that aren't jerky, the ones that can't legally call themselves that, like Slim Jim?
Yeah, so Slim Jim was there, but then you have like the Jack Link's guys.
Oh, is that really how that works?
Yeah, so like they have all of them guys there that are like huge. And then I was on a thing called Startup Street, where new companies within 3 years, and I ended up right there, placing top 5 finalists against Jack Link's, Icon Meats, and Bulk Jerky for the sour cream and onion pork chips that
backwards.
The ones you had. No, it's not.
It's see-through.
There you go.
Oh, it was. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. The first day we got they called me and I'm
your sour cream and onion. Do you call them jerky chips?
Yeah, they're like jerky chips. But it was weird because I didn't know what I was in for. I went out there, packed my truck full of jerky and said, "Screw it, let's see what this thing's about."
Kind of how we pack for vacations normally.
Yeah. So I get a phone call. They're like, "Yeah, somebody needs to be at the award ceremony." And I'm like, "For what?" Like, get the hell out of here. And they're like, "No, you're in the top 5." I was like, "Oh shit."
Dude, that's so dope.
Yeah, it was just weird. And then when they called out, it was against Jack Link's and everything. And they won from that bullshit Doritos jerky.
Dude,
that's rude that they're allowed to compete.
I mean,
like in that shit.
Again, I didn't think I was going to even get anywhere close. But
and you were in the startup category. Were you? I'm guessing you were the only one from that category.
Yeah, I was the only one. The meat category in Startup Street, which I kind of landed there. But what was funny is the next morning, before we got there, all the Jack Link's guys were at my booth grabbing a bunch of samples and shit like that. So
try the old competitor.
So then, me being me, at the end of the show, I walked up with a whole bunch of the chips and I said, "Next time you guys want to talk, I'm not going to bite you." And I threw a bunch of them down. I said, "I'm just a little guy. Remember that." And I walked away. They were all like,
"Baller beef jerky snack convention."
I mean, I didn't care. I was like, it was for the most innovative product, and they put a flavor out. I mean, we had something totally different, like a chip.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just.
So, all right,
they had a major company with a flavor of one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah, but it was cool watching them. So I did talk to my graphics guy. Next year, or this year coming up, when I go there, I'm gonna have a cow with a Sasquatch and a headlock on a T-shirt.
There you go.
I'm wearing it the whole time there. I'm just gonna poke the bear. You know why I'm there.
Hey, what do you got to lose?
It's got to say, "Move, bitch, get out the way."
If they go back at you, they look like the big guys trying to beat up the little guys.
And you know what? I have highly confidence in my guy Dave to turn around and draw whatever I want.
Yeah,
they're not going to compete with him.
So, when did you know? When did Ron say, I got something here that I got to do more with"?
Where you made the jump from it being a hobby to it.
When my brother passed, is when I kind of went, "Fuck this, watch this," and then I just went. I said, "Screw it." I haven't held back, and the foot is on the gas right now. Towards the end of the year, I have chicken, pork, turkey, bacon burn ends.
All right, I'm already getting
coming out.
By the end of the year?
Oh my god!
No, so they're all in samples right now.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a spring release.
So chicken jerky?
Yeah, so it's going to be like a buffalo wing chicken.
I was going to say, I've never seen. Has that been done by anybody else?
Yeah, so a lot of guys are coming out with it, and they're just getting regular flavors. And
is there a reason for is it like, oh, it's healthier or?
Yeah, so
or just different.
Some people don't like beef because of religious beliefs, and all that other different stuff. So turkey's a really big one, except for the lean people, the fitness people, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Just like me and Holbrook,
the cowards. I like to call them the cowards.
But then we got something for you guys. The bacon burn ends are going to be amazing.
I do enjoy a good bacon jerky, and I love burn ends, and now I'm really excited.
So this is like a chunk of bacon rendered down into jerky, and it's going to be in the honey bourbon, which is here, and then the honey habanero. And then springtime we're going to have, it's called the Barnyard Bundle. You're going to get one of each kind of meat
talk slower.
In a box. Oh yeah.
I feel it in my plums.
Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of everything.
So, all right. Number one. Okay, that's awesome. Number two, like, do you like wake up and be like, I got an idea to do something with my meat?
Yeah. So honestly, it all comes. I'll be sitting there drinking beers and stuff, and then I'm just get an idea. And you should see this sketch pad. It's so fucked up. Like it's diagonal on the paper. Of, like, recipes of what I think will go together, and then like I draw pictures of stuff like for the advertising and all that.
Of
And
course.
then just it's all having a couple beers is kind of how this whole thing did. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it going that way.
So current products, Fat Cow Jerky, what stores is it in, and how can people get it outside of just going to fatcowjerky.com?
Fatcowjerky.com, where we do a lot. Still do all the pop-ups, around Delco.
Oh yeah, if there's some sort of call it a convention or an outdoor event or something
like that. I mean, the cool part now is I used to have to go after the events, and now I have the event people, kind of calling me. Like we just had 105. It's a country concert, and we did for a radio station.
So it was all South Jersey people.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This was in Lancaster. Like,
so really, real.
And I kind of felt bad.
God's land.
Well, we were there, and there was another jerky guy, and the year before we sold out of mostly everything, and everybody came up and they're like, "Dude, we didn't know you were here. We went to the other guy, and this shit wasn't good." Like, I was like, "Oh man," I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But I was like, "That's what you get for booking too,"
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say,
were they Amish?
No, they were weird. I think they're from like
Delaware. From Lancaster,
Delaware. I'm from Delaware.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about the tried and true Fat Cow Jerky. Then we're gonna get into the new things. So I want to talk about these chips because it is a pretty amazing concept, to think about. And I want to talk about how what went through the process of turning beef into a chip. But we'll get to that. So I got some of the new packaging here, and this is
so that's the retail ready one.
The retail ready spicy original, which is one of my favorites. I say top 2, top 3 easily. Pickles my number 1. And to the truth of my point, I opened up a small pack to take a bite. It is now empty.
The packaging's great, man.
Yeah.
The old shit, like the black pack, was cool too, man. But that's great.
Being out in Chicago, I had to stand out though, because everybody, if you go to the store, and you'll notice it now, most of the packaging is all black.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to make a splash. My flavors are different. I got to do something. And I said, cow print.
That's
brilliant.
What was the hardest flavor for you to come up with?
The hardest flavor to come up with?
Like the one that really took a lot of...
Original,
really?
Yeah, because if you try most jerkies, mostly all originals kind of taste the same. It's like a hickory. It's kind of bland and everything. Yeah. And I wanted something with a little bit of a punch, like a flavor.
Yeah.
So I was using a seasoning, and they will not sell it in bulk because McCormick sucks. So I called them up, and there's no way that you can buy the bulk. So we re-engineered it. I found out what was in it, and I turned around, and I made that seasoning, but I made it better.
Take that, McCormick.
Grassroots.
I did. So now I have my own seasoning blend, which you could see in a bottle sold on the website soon.
Now,
I'm doing that. I'm fucking doing that.
So we're gonna have our own rubbery rub.
There's a lot of things I'm gonna be expanding on in the next probably 2 years, which is
awesome.
I barbecue all the time, so you may see a Fat Cow barbecue somewhere.
What?
We better know about this.
No, you guys will know. That's on the end of stuff. But yeah, there's seasonings. I have some sauces.
Barbecue sauce.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I got
Listen, a good barbecue sauce is hard to come by anymore.
It is.
Yeah, it really is. It's
because you go to the store, usually the generic stuff, your Ken's, your the other brands, I forget, but whatever.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
I've all of them. If I'm going to the store, I probably go Sweet Baby Ray.
Yeah. So I can tell you a lot of barbecue places use Sweet Baby Ray's as a base, and then they add their own stuff to it to make it enhance the flavor. Let's put it.
Your stuff,
you need a base.
All the flavors I've had of your stuff is it's unique in the fact that it is just not fucking like chemically tasting.
Yeah.
There are certain times where you get products, especially like Upstarters or whatever, that it just basically tastes like they took a bathroom spray, perfume spray of the flavor they were going for, and just put it on there.
Yeah, so there's no fake smoke in any of this. It's all in a smoke.
You ever have liquid smoke?
Yeah, it's gross.
It's terrible.
It
tastes like that.
That's mainly what most of the jerky companies do use is that liquid smoke to enhance it. We just kick up the wood chips a little bit to make it a little smokier.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, you can probably make most of the jerkies I have with stuff that's in your house, like the black pepper garlic.
Mm-hmm. There's black pepper and garlic. You son of a bee.
Everybody has the seasoning that is in that jerky right there, everybody has it in their house. I can guarantee it.
And even like like the black pepper garlic and all the other ones, it's each chip tastes like it was designed to have that incorporated into it. It's not like there's just like a generic slate of the beef jerky and then you just throw the fucking sauce on it. You throw the whatever on it, like here you go.
It's a different flavor profile for everyone. I try to make them.
Can I offer a product idea for you?
Sure.
Jerky dipping sauces.
Jerky dipping sauces.
Like, I think that would be amazing.
Okay.
Like a different, like taking a pickle one and maybe dipping it into a ranch flavor dipping sauce, or taking the spicy one and having like a cool, like we have that, we can have the combinations of, or a sweet, like a honey based dipping sauce, like a honey mustard or something. Like, not that you would use as exact ones, but like, because here's my reason.
Kind of like blue cheese for wings.
Kind of like that, yeah, like a buffalo blue cheese one. But the reason is I say it because number one, the spicy original, that was an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember we were the first ones to try the spicy.
Yeah.
We were groundbreaking here. Because you said, here, we can't sell this because somebody doubled the recipe by accident or whatever.
The pepper content got,
got a little heavy-handed.
Let's just say teaspoon, tablespoon, they kind of look the same on paper.
Okay. And you're like, here, try these. And I remember me and Holbrook went nuts for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts for it. And you're like, all right, let me see what happens. And
screw it.
It's it worked.
Original
it
now.
Worked. What would you say is the most popular Fat Cow Jerky? Like the most demanded one? Like think of the Girl Scout cookies. Everyone wants a Thin Mints or something like that. What is the most?
Pickle.
Pickle?
Yes, 100%. It's the pickle.
Well, that works with my next question.
Or the original one. Those two are still the most different.
When you came up with the idea for pickle, what did you have to do to come? Like what?
So it was actually my cousin's wife, Debbie, sent me.
Check me out.
The ladies love pickles.
She turned around and sent it to me, and I was like, okay. So I kind of looked at it. I'm like, well, that's kind of generic. And then I made that recipe, and then I just enhanced it with my barbecue cabinet. Just put my own stuff in it to give it a twist and all that, and it worked.
And once again, not like chemically, it's not like it's superimposed in there. Like when you go buy hers, like they're pickle chips, the dill chips.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like, you took a potato chip, threw a little bit of salt, and fucking like some chemicals thrown on there. Like your stuff, it's very,
it's legit.
It's interjected perfectly. Yeah. It's homogenized well.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get it to a 10-pound batch, the same every single time, and use the right stuff. Like, I can honestly say the pickle one right now, because of the juice that I use in it, I'm actually in talks with the people that make it, because I have a pickle emporium down in Texas. That
we used to call that the locker room at Bonner. Yeah. The pickle emporium.
Mm-hmm. You took it. You stole before I could.
Favorite time of the day.
I was waiting for it, but yeah, they have an everything pickle store, and they don't have a jerky. And
they do now.
I just sent a dozen down to them for taste testing and all that kind of stuff. So
wait, where's this pickle emporium?
In Texas. So I can tell you, I use Best Made pickle juice. It's the most.
It's the best made.
Yeah, it just.
Is that a brand you can buy in the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's mainly down in Texas, and it's really big. But I needed something consistent because I was using a ton of different ones and just trying to get them the amount of pickle juice that I needed. I was actually going to bars saying, hey, you get the 5-gallon buckets. What do you do with the juice? And like, nothing. I was like, can I have it? So I'd be leaving the bar at 2 a.m. with a pail full of, pickle juice.
Do they not do picklebacks at these bars?
So then,
how about hot days in football? I mean, come on, there's something there you can be used.
Well, the people I found sell gallons of it. So I get gallons upon gallons of
Can you imagine? Yeah, we sell gallons of pickle juice.
It's the thing. You don't think it's a thing? It really is.
It's absolutely a thing. I've seen it like at plenty of bars where, like you said, they have the 5-gallon ones and they keep it behind the bar or whatever for picklebacks just in case. Or
I'm just saying, you would never thought like, oh yeah, what do you do? I sell pickle juice. Well, I'm the pickle juice guy.
The other part with the pickle is the vinegar. If you use too much of it, will make the meat kind of like mush.
So okay.
It's like, you have to find the right juice.
That's why that's a little bit more tender than maybe the original. A little more
tender and dry because of the vinegar in it, and it's a very fine line. Like I screwed up a couple times.
It is a great drinking jerky.
Oh yeah,
I guess great drinking jerky is a good way of putting it. Because like every time I want a beer. So, and I'll be honest with you, I have put it on a sandwich.
Every time I do anything, I want a beer out.
Sure.
I want to get it into the bars where people order picklebacks. They get a little piece of jerky on the side of the cup.
How about in like a Bloody Mary?
Yeah. So that was one of the ones I gave you from the very beginning was a Bloody Mary jerky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you don't even like Bloody Marys.
I do not. I don't like tomato juice.
And he ate it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll support a friend.
So
how much meat goes into like refining your flavor?
a good amount.
Yeah.
Like, normally I'll start out with like a 5 pound and then I have to get it up to a 10 pound, but I have to do it consistently. Myself, I want to do it at least 5 or 6 times where it's dead consistent. So I'll package it up and taste them all with.
So it's like
numbers
really
on it.
scientific. I mean, you go like to the
Yeah.
You're your own quality control.
Yeah. So like, but when I get it to 10 pounds is when I go to talk to my guys at the co-packer because they make 10 pound batches. That's the smallest what they'll make. So what I'll do is I'll make a batch, send it out to them, and then they make a batch and send it to me, and then we both,
agree about it. It's spot on.
Because USDA has their stuff, so we do have to add some like nitrates in it because of shelf life and stuff like that. That's where the co-packer kind of makes it more legit.
You got to add the chemtrails and all that shit.
Yeah,
but
to
make sure
Big Brother
Kennedys get
follows me.
assassinated.
we use a bunch of naturals. We try to keep it as natural as we can, but there's just kind of no way around it. Once you make that step.
How long does non-nitrate filled jerky usually last for? Like making it at home, how long would that Ziplocked and all? Like how long would that normally last for?
So some people use curing salt. Like I've never used any extra added salts. I get it from the soy sauce.
Okay.
If you open the pack, probably you can get around 30 days, but it's not going to be good because it's just going to dry out really, really quickly.
It's a lot longer than I expected you to say when it was open.
I mean, that's if you leave it out. I mean, you can put it in the refrigerator to kind of preserve it a little more, but it's not going to taste as good as when you freshly open that pack.
All right. So, go ahead, Holberg. I got a question.
No, I was gonna say, did you just not play Red Dead Redemption 2, where you got to eat the jerky within?
Before it goes bad.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your prototype chip.
Yes.
All right. So is it considered prototype? I guess it's not in production yet.
It's out there. It's out there.
Oh, is it out there? Okay.
Yeah.
It's in research and development.
Yeah. So it's a cured ham that's like sliced really thin and just basically dried out to where.
What disease did it have that it got cured from?
Yeah. Can I just say, because that's why, honestly, I'm like, I asked him, like, is it almost like Canadian bacon?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm like, when I first saw it, I'm like,
yeah.
Is it like Taylor ham?
Oh,
that's my favorite way to just be a dick in a room.
Taylor
just walk in and be like, oh, scrap. Pork roll. Taylor ham.
Which is bullshit. It's pork roll.
It's pork roll.
I know. I love just starting problems.
Yeah, we know that, Holbrook. We're well aware of that.
So I'll give you guys some of the wild boar, and I'll just write Taylor ham on it. Will you eat it still,
dude? That
no, seriously, like that should be something you put on your menu. Is that just hard to come by or something?
No, so there's a problem with the USDA having their 2 bits into it because we kill stuff that's in the field.
So for the USDA,
they're in the field of science,
so
and I'll kill them.
Any meat that is sold commercially or anything is
made or
controlled
raised
by the USDA,
raised commercially, I guess.
When you guys go to restaurants and get jerky and all that, it says wild game.
So this farm to table bullshit's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
So some of the farm to tables are actual cattle farmers that are USDA approved, but like stuff in packages that you see in like say Wawa that says wild boar jerky, no, it's raised in a field. Same with venison. Venison's farm raised.
More like mild boar jerky.
Let me ask you a question. Wild boar jerky. That tender? It sounds like it would be a tender meat.
It is, but you got to watch with the fat.
Okay.
Fat gets really rancid in jerky, so you
I do.
That's why it's lean.
Yeah. You rancid fat shit.
Slice a little off your back.
So that's the smell.
That was my nickname in high school. You rancid fat shit.
That's what the priest would call him at Bonner.
Yeah. That's my confirmation name. Yeah, rancid fat shit.
Oh man, but like what made you wake up and go, I don't need to make a chip out of this? Like what was that moment?
I kind of saw it, like it was kind of getting done, and then I'm just like, well, screw it. Like let's make it actually like sour cream and onion on it,
Okay.
And the co-packers and they came up with it, and we kind of designed it and everything, and they turned around and produced it. It was like, oh shit, this shit's good.
Yeah. So what are the flavors right now that are available to the public?
So I don't even have them on the website right now.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of took them out to the show, and whatever I had, I kind of put it out there. I'm probably going to take a step back on the chips because I'm really concentrating on the jerky's taking off. So I'm going to stick with what's going right now and the different flavors of jerky.
Gotcha.
So,
what are the newer flavors that maybe people who have been Fat Cow fans because we've been talking about it, but maybe they're not aware of the newer flavors?
So the newest one that I brought is the honey bourbon. So
I love honey bourbon drinking, so eating might even be even better.
yeah, so that was the thing. Everybody wanted me to make teriyaki. I refuse. Like all teriyakis taste the same.
Okay.
I mean,
that's a great fucking point.
I mean, in all honesty, when you taste this, you'll be like, all right, this is better than teriyaki because it's sweet. It's got a little bit of a bourbon bite. It's on the lines of
the people
teriyaki.
ask me, they're pretty basic people. So
Yeah.
they're just like,
I only like teriyaki, so I had this honey bourbon out at a couple events, and I said, "This is just a teaser," and they're like, "Oh, can I buy it back?" I'm like, "I don't have it for you."
Can we
But
try
they're
that?
like,
Because I
"Yes."
want to try that now.
Yeah.
This
So
sounds
I bought
amazing.
2 versions, so you can see the first run we did, and then I was like, "We need to pack more flavor into it," and then the second one, you'll be like, "All right, that's got more flavor in it."
Now, let me ask a question. When we're hold on, grab this because I want to try some of this. But when you're doing the flavor, because you got to think of the overall, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever go like, I've been careful. I think I'll turn more people off than on with bolder flavors versus more
No, I try to
middle of the road.
I try to stick with what you don't see.
Okay.
Like most of my flavors, you're not going to see in the store. Like my original is not like the regular originals in the store.
Right.
I want to
Along
try
with-
this. Hold on. Keep going.
Like honey habanero. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
that's
nobody saw that in the store.
That's actually a great combo too because
Yeah,
it's
Al,
spicy
that's
sweet,
the first run, and that's the second
All
one
so
right
we gotta
there.
try the first run.
spicy,
You might have to
sweet,
cut that one
and salty. Like that's literally and
Yeah.
fat. Those are literally the fucking 4 things that one person said should be.
This is run 1.
Of
Yeah.
what?
That's run 1 of the honey bourbon.
Honey bourbon, because nothing makes better radio than chewing.
Chewing the fat.
It was
Texture
crispy.
spectacular.
That's the one thing I try to get is they call it like the perfect pull, where it's not too soft,
Dude,
not too hard. It's like
This is good.
right in the middle. But wait till you try the second run. The second run takes that flavor and just punches it in
Okay.
even more.
I'm not gonna lie, it does leave like a little bit more.
It's a little bland
yeah.
towards the end, which again, that's me telling a guy how to make it, and then sending me a version of it, and then
like
it's
it.
like, all right, well, now this is what we need to do.
I'd be happy with that one generically, but I know.
Yeah, I mean, we did pretty good on the first hit on it.
Yeah.
But like making flavors and stuff, back to what you said, is like I try to get it to where I can get the ingredients too, because you have to be able to.
Yeah.
So I can make a 10-pound batch, no problem. I'm still at 200 pounds is a small batch, so I'm a small craft jerky. I won't go over 200 pounds. So all my batches now, I have to have the ingredients for 200 pounds. So I need to be able to get my hands on.
So your co-packer, you bring like all the stuff up
I drop
to them?
I drop ship stuff to them. Like I can
So
tell you.
they don't have the
So-
seasonings.
So they have a bunch of the seasonings, like the generic stuff. But
Yeah,
if I use a specific sauce, like
or you make your own. As
Yeah.
you said.
like Hank sauce, they have a great hot sauce that I use, and I became a wholesaler for them. So I get it at a wholesale price, and I just turn around and I drop ship them, and then they use it. And then I found a seasoning place that'll make my blends the way I need it.
The Hank's
and then
hot
just-
sauce that they sell in Westchester and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
in the
that's
square
just-
bottle.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit's
yeah.
dope, man. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the fish? Oh,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah. It's the one with the
bone.
made from sea isle.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
I had I
Oh,
got
it's from
it.
Sea Isle?
Yeah.
It's weird. The only place I ever see it's in Westchester.
So they have a bar on 86th Street in Sea
Mhm.
Isle, and it was just 4 college friends that turned around and made that business, and it's small. So like I try to buy stuff like that, like
Yeah.
that kind of sauce.
I actually got like a 3-pack of the Hanks with the
Yeah.
different flavors for. I'm one of those guys like Christmas time. That's what I get. It's like
Yeah.
hot sauces and bacon products and.
Well,
All right, so that was run 1. So I
Yeah.
need to open up another pack. So we gotta do it.
Dude, you guys will eat it.
It will have a home.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So that's run 1.
Jerky's healthy for you. Yeah. Al's looking for sharp objects.
Ow!
Luckily, we didn't have them earlier when you were arguing.
Yeah, I know. The So Hank's from Sea Isle. That is good to know.
Yeah, if you read their story, it's pretty cool. Like how they went to college down in Florida, and the one dude just started making the sauces. Kind of like the way I made jerky. I'm like,
Yeah.
screw it. I'm going to use. So I use one of his and one of my spicier ones. And then he makes a cilantro one that's like really good.
Really?
And I make this wing sauce that has that in it. So you might be seeing that on some chicken jerky coming
That's
out.
another one where I'm like, it's much like teriyaki. Where I'm like, it seems just such an overpowering flavor itself.
Yeah, but the cilantro, it's different.
Oh, okay. This one's definitely got
You can
a
smell it,
sugarier,
yeah.
more like feel. Oh yeah, that hits harder.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
So now you can see like the progression on how
Man,
it actually happens.
Question.
that's complexion good.
It's sweeter. It's also hotter. You got like a nice balance of that.
So that's the bourbon, the little spice from the bourbon in it, and I can tell
Okay,
you,
so it's more like it's almost like
so
a
we have
pumpkin spicy type.
Yeah, so it's like a
situation.
seasoning, but we punch more bourbon into it to where
Weird
you
question.
actually. What's up?
Is there coconut in it?
No.
Really?
And I can tell you, it's a trash bourbon that we use. It's like
Is
just
it
to get that flavor? Yeah.
Is it Caster's?
No.
Is it Wild Turkey?
I can't tell you.
Is it like one of those things
dirt
they
cheap
tell you?
It's dirt cheap, and PA doesn't even sell it. We get it out of Maryland.
Love it.
Is it like one of those things where like it's better to use like for instance, and it's funny because my grandmother makes a pumpkin pie. I'm one of the few other people who know to make it.
Yeah.
And she'll tell me, find the cheapest bottom shelf crud you could find.
Yeah.
And it does make a difference. Because
So-
I tried one time making it with one of my good bourbons. I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, and you got to think too. Like I'm going
That's good.
from a 10-pound batch to a 200-pound. So if I use Jack Daniels, Jim Beam,
Yeah.
something like that, that price of that jerky just skyrocketed because of it, and you don't really get the flavor. You use that trash bourbon that has the bourbon bite, and then you make it taste good with seasoning and honey and stuff like that.
Dude, that shit's good, man.
I guess, yeah, you wouldn't need to really because it's not a standalone flavor.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not bourbon
Yeah,
jerky. It's, but no, that's really good. And I'm not just saying, I'm being honest with you. Like, I tell you, like, maybe I like the other
No,
one.
you guys have always been honest, and
Yeah.
like I said, the first one is kind of bland towards the end, and then we needed to really punch the flavor in. But
I was worried when you said that you really punched the flavor up because I'm like you said, it was a little lighter on the other one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm afraid if I go too much, it's like turning the music up just way too loud at that point. But that's got that sweet savory.
It kind of hits
And
all the avenues.
And
on
it's not hard and chewy because
Yeah.
sometimes certain flavors can make things chewier than others.
Yeah. Like the maple one that I have,
Mhm.
the maple syrup and stuff.
Yeah,
that's a little more
could-
tough because of the sugar content of the maple syrup.
It's a very natural, like, complexion within it. Like, it's not just like flavors on top of each other. Like, that is a taste that has merged with itself and distributed itself evenly. Like, it's very nice.
Yeah, that's kind of what I try to do with all of them. So everybody's like, you need to make this, you need to make that. It does take time to perfect something.
That's a good one if you can somehow make that into a rub you're going to use for home or
Yes.
a dipping sauce or some sort of sauce for your.
So that marinade I've actually put on wings before.
Oh.
So honestly,
Ow.
a lot of these flavors do come from my barbecue cabinets. So,
Okay.
Again,
Is there anything in the works that we can talk about or anything you're working on,
yeah.
like in ideas?
The burnt ends.
Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
I want
We-
first part. I love a good burnt end. Like,
Yeah.
and people are like, you don't know what that is. It literally they take the burnt end. Like, I've had a burnt end cheesesteak. I've had a burnt end a couple of different things. So they're very
so it's
tender.
like a
but
slow smoked piece of meat that kind of like melts in your mouth. But to make it jerky, it's going to be a little bit chewy. So
Yeah.
You tasted the bacon that I gave you the one time a little while ago when I was messing around with bacon jerky. Well, now a chunk of bacon into a burnt end is the way to go.
So these will be a little bit more like bites.
Yeah, it's
Call
gonna be
them
like,
bites.
it's gonna be like a bite. It's gonna look like
Fat Cow
Jack Link's
bites.
like nuggets. but it's
Oh
gonna-
yeah, I've seen them. Yeah,
just,
yeah.
just the way they look, but it's actually
Like a meat crouton?
Yes,
Son of a bitch. This is life alteringly good.
this is gonna be
A meat
ridiculous.
crouton.
Yeah.
Genius.
But
genius.
it's gonna be. We're gonna have the sweet one with the honey bourbon,
Okay.
and then the spicy one. We're gonna use my honey habanero. That's
It's one of my faves.
that's my
delightful.
personal favorite.
Sweet
So
and spicy,
delightful.
baby.
we're gonna have the sweet and spicy one coming out, and then I do have some chicken jerky. Marinades
Let's
in the
talk
works.
about that now. Now, would chicken jerky definitely be a more tender,
Yes,
softer jerky?
it's a different consistency.
I'd figure.
Turkey and chicken are close, but trying to punch the flavor into something that bland is tough with jerky. Like
Fair.
beef will kind of absorb a little.
I was going to say this
Yeah.
is just that doesn't absorb.
Yeah, it's tougher to absorb. Like I have a whiskey peach for turkey. we did a run on that we just couldn't punch the flavor in, but now we found this new, bourbon that we're going to use in that. We're going to use for the whiskey peach.
I love peach and I love whiskey, so this could be. So that's going to be on the chicken. You won't do that on a beef. You just don't think that flavor would mix well.
And the fruitier types of stuff is better for, say, pork, chicken. I mean, how many times do you see fruit on a steak?
True. Right. It's usually like a lime chicken or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Something like that is going to kind of be
lime flavoring on chicken is pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're chili lime.
Chili lime, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when would the other stuff coming out? Like, when are we looking at that? Is it over the next couple of years?
I'm trying to push the bacon burn ends out by Christmas.
Oh, I love this country.
So I have a Christmas
Honey, are you listening?
Yeah.
We should do like a Christmas promo for Fat Cow. Like, just like stuff their stockings with Fat Cow.
So I have mailer boxes being designed right now for a gift package you can buy online and send it to anybody in the U.S.
That's a great
different
idea.
jerky and stuff like that. And it's got stickers.
Adorbs.
Because that's like this kind of things I get from everybody.
Exactly. So I'm going to try to, push that out by right after probably Black Friday. I'm going to release that.
Okay.
That little box, and you kind of get to pick what jerkies you want to throw in there.
It's right around my anniversary, babe.
Dawn, you hear that?
Yeah, exactly. The meat in my life.
Make sure to put it under your name though, so he gets irate if whoever has to go pick it up.
I will.
Don't make me pick it up.
I will totally mess that up.
Yeah. Are you Dawn?
You're not allowed to have it. Your name's not Dawn.
Dude, my wife, how she puts up with me is beyond. The smell alone, I can understand. She goes with it. But hey, she's 10 times better looking than me. And she's got a good dad. I haven't figured that out yet. But how she puts up with my antics is beyond me. And I'm sure most men say that.
Agree, yeah.
But like mine are quite annoying and quite. I don't like me. Like I mean, I'm not trying to even be funny here. Like, if I had to deal with me, I have to. Like, I'm me. I have to. But like, I kind of like a Curb Your Enthusiasm. Such like Larry David is like a terrible person to have to deal with. He's funny to watch, but if he was your actual friend, you would go nuts.
Yeah.
To deal with him. Like, I kind of feel like that with me. Like, I have very Larry David-esque type things that drive me nuts. And if I'm anybody who deals with me, I look at them like, why would you deal with that person on a general basis?
Taylor says that. She's like, what is this idiot doing now? Because if I'm out of eyesight.
Is she like, are you in the meat lab?
Yeah, she goes, oh shit, what the hell's he up to now?
Yeah. What are you creating in your meat lab?
Yeah.
I just want to have a meat lab. I don't even have to create anything.
At my new house, I'm going to be putting a commercial style dehydrator in like a little area to make that stuff.
I feel like a commercial style dehydrator right now after this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yes, it's for those who don't know, Hollywood Holbrook turned 37 recently.
It would be irrelevant if it was my birthday weekend. It's any weekend. I just feel like a commercial dehydrator.
Yeah.
The sight of water repulses me at this point. Like I just need,
You need the beer to even yourself out.
Yeah.
So wait, with a commercial dehydrator now, first of all, how big are those?
So they do make some smaller ones, but I have to kind of like get to the point to invest in it's a smokehouse basically.
Mm-hmm. How big do those things get? Like 2 ovens?
Yes.
Like, could you put a body in there?
Yeah. So the ones that we use to actually manufacture are probably half the size of this room, like 6 carts. Like it's the best smell when I go up to the co-packer to pick my stuff up. You put the windows down and all you smell is the meat cooking. It's great.
I worked at the Link for the first year that it was in existence, and I did all the sweets. I cooked for them. I didn't cook for the normal peasants. And they had a smoker, which looked, what it looked like? It reminded me of Price is Right when they spin the wheel at the end, closest to the dollar and all that. It looked like that, but more metallic, and they would put the meat in there, and it would slowly spin like a Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
and then they would just check on it every so often, and they had little timers for each basket. It was pretty crazy. The smell that came off that thing was just phenomenal.
Yeah,
I wanted to bathe in it.
Yeah,
I wanted. If I came home, it's like one of those things. I smell like work. I would love to smell like that.
When I go to pick up the jerky, I walk around and I see like the whole production and everything. And when we go to the smokehouse and you're like wafting, you're like, all right. And then you get in your truck and you're like, all right, I still smell like it. Cool.
I'm going to chew on my own arm on the way home.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem.
Why are you licking yourself, Al? Why not? Why not?
Well, I have to taste test on the way home anyway.
All right, so we're looking at burnt ends by Christmas
Christmas.
time.
What a sentence.
Yeah.
Plus, you're gonna have Fat Cow shippable packages, right?
Yeah,
so there'll be
yeah.
like different levels.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
guessing.
like a mailer box.
Okay.
I'm having my website guy, get that all together for the release. But the barnyard box will probably be out by springtime.
I love that name.
So I can release a little bit of my graphics guy. It's Fat Cow Jerky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember when you were a little kid and you used to get like the pig nose and ears and like the cow's going to be wearing that kind of shit. Yeah. It's going to be like a
Oink,
costume
oink.
of a cow in like a turkey.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really different.
I love that.
Yeah. Like I said, I get these ideas when I'm drinking. I write them down, and then
we get ideas when we're drinking too, but they don't turn out as.
We're all here because I went on a drinking binge in 2016.
Yeah.
It's
exactly why. Yeah, we have a studio in CKPA. Holbrook's drinking habits.
I had a breakup in.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I had a breakup in May of 2016, and finally just came to my wits a couple weeks ago that I came out of that creating a holiday.
That's one hell of a holiday too.
Yeah,
it is awesome.
Oh man! And the funny part is, June. Looking at the calendar, in about 2 months or less, we got to start putting it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Saturday before the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but we start talking before then. We don't start.
We don't discuss it until Saturday before the Royal Rumble.
Okay, all right.
Which now the Royal Rumble's on a Saturday, so we have to do it at the Royal Rumble. Mania's in Philly next year.
Oh yeah, that's right. WrestleMania is in Philly. I'm going.
I'm 100% going.
Both nights? Is it 3 nights or 2 nights? I thought isn't there like a night before where
the NXT night or the fucking
Hall
night.
of Fame
night or something? That won't be.
I'm not even into wrestling that much, but it's like WrestleMania is like people that watch the Super Bowl, they don't care.
I used to be as a kid.
Oh, big time. The Attitude Era. That was all me.
They make the Mania more about like the old school shit.
Yeah,
like the new stuff.
Well, WrestleMania is for everybody, everyday guys.
Yeah,
you just had to start paying attention in January, and it's fine.
Yeah, well,
I don't even know any of them that even wrestle anymore.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember I flipped it on for 5 minutes. Don't know you. Oh, John Cena. Oh, he died.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah,
he didn't die. I'm just saying that. He's like in every commercial. Yeah.
Just the Undertaker. He was my favorite.
I'm sure he'll be a Mania.
Yeah, he retired 4 WrestleManias ago, but he still pops up.
Just the lights go out and you hear the song. You're like, all right, where's he coming from now?
Yeah,
just trying to guess.
Does he wrestle Holbrook, or do you think he just makes an appearance?
He's definitely not wrestling.
Has he wrestled in the last couple? So he makes appearances, but he hasn't wrestled.
Yeah, he's a crippled old man now.
I remember, I literally, because I guess it was.
Well, Hulk Hogan just got married again.
Perfect. Just perfect.
He married his daughter, though. That's the weird part.
Yeah. She does look like a daughter.
Oh, wait. Oh, he married that one? Because, he did start dating a chick who looks exactly like his daughter at one point.
Yeah. How old is she?
And then the wife started dating a chick who looked like the son at one point. Just really Florida. Just really Florida.
Florida's just messed up.
I got to see this now.
Tampa as a divorced family.
Here. Jennifer. No. It says married 2010 to 2021. So this is his third marriage?
Yeah, I just saw it on like social media.
Sky Daily?
Yeah, somebody.
Sky
it's very
Daily.
recently.
Yeah, September 26th. Yeah, no, yeah. It makes sense.
It's his daughter?
It's either his daughter or his daughter's friends. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, no, it definitely looks like a girl that escorted wrestling people back in the day. Oh, yeah.
Just awkward.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. I mean, come on. I wish they would tell me how old she was, though.
If they don't tell you how old she is, it means they're trying to hide it for a reason.
Who is 25 years younger than Hogan? So whatever he is, minus 25.
Put him at 65.
Was a yoga.
So.
She was a yoga instructor.
Okay.
While Instagram is private, her bio.
He made her a broga instructor.
Her bio previously said that she worked in the fitness industry and also helped small businesses.
Yeah, Finn Hulk Hogan's fucking donging her.
She has 3 children of her own. Hogan may be a father of 2 grown kids, but Daly has children of her own. Introduced them to the Hulkster before the 2 wed. Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah.
By the way, you have 3 more kids.
He's like sitting there, like giving them all T-shirts. Oh, these kids are cute. Oh, they're mine. By
just
the way.
Overselling, going what?
Yeah. Oh my god. It's enough Hulk Hogan talk for one night.
You ever see not the porn tape he was in, but the trial about the porn tape?
Yes.
Where it's like the greatest fucking conversation ever. They're like, you saying this?
Well, he's having sex with his neighbor, right?
It was like a long, convoluted story about like a cuckold situation. And they're like, you say that Hulk Hogan has a 10-inch penis. He's just like, Hulk Hogan has a 10-inch penis. And they're like, does this penis in here look like 10 inches? He goes, his name's Terry Bollea. He's like, that's Terry Bollea's penis. And they're like, are you Terry Bollea? Yes, that is my penis. And like, but Hulk Hogan has a 10-inch penis. Yes, they're different. Hulk Hogan's penis is 10 inches. And it's like this entire fucking ridiculous conversation.
like legitimately.
And they're like, so Hulk Hogan's a character? Is like, Hulk Hogan's a character, and his penis is 10 inches.
Helping is Terry's penis. I gotta know now.
It's not 10, I'll tell you that.
Like, does he ever say, well, Terry's is only 4 inches?
Yeah.
I have to look that one.
So did Hulk Hogan steroids get in Terry's penis?
But like that ridiculous argument's like kind of why he won the fucking case against Gawker.
Really?
Yes, because they're like, it was like they couldn't slander
him. Was their name Gawker? Oh,
Gawker, the website. He won, dude, because in the video he got a lot of shit for the thing. He drops the N-bomb in it.
Yeah, I remember.
It got out, and it cost him they cost him his contract, which is like $75 million.
Mm-hmm.
He sued Gawker and got like $500 million by winning that lawsuit.
No shit.
They had to shut down and all that shit, and he got his money for being a racist with a line about the size of his dick.
Wasn't he like talking like I'm much better than your husband or something or like that?
Yeah. It was literally like a cuckold.
By the way, like it is a porn that you laugh at, not masturbate to. Like it is hilarious. Yeah, like you go watch it after you're done this. Just Google it. Hulk Hogan porn. Like he does do he plays a real American in the background.
Really?
No.
Hulk Hogan.
That would be icing on the cake.
I feel like he has that just like where he goes and it plays in his house no matter where he's at.
If you had 24-inch pythons, Hulk Hogan does.
Yeah.
Does Terry Bollea? It's irrelevant. Hulk Hogan has 24-inch pythons. Like science doesn't apply to the character of Hulk Hogan. I loved it.
Oh my god! I gotta watch.
Units of measurement are irrelevant to the character of Hulk
I don't
Hogan.
think I've watched the actual full trial part. I saw bits and pieces.
I didn't even know that happened.
Oh, it's great.
Oh man, I saw the one with the little kid. Like did his Hulk Hogan impression. The kid's like 8 years old. He killed it.
Yeah,
in the store, he killed it. All right, that's more Hulk Hogan talk again than we thought. So we're getting to the end here. Anything else you want to tell people?
To the burnt ends.
Yeah, to the burnt ends. Anything else you want to tell people about Fat Cow Jerky that maybe they didn't know or maybe they should know, or you want to really just push out there?
Just stay tuned on social media because we're going to drop November.
That's great social media, by the way. You guys are very on.
Yeah,
spot on.
I'm starting to learn it. Like all the little videos. Like I have a guy that does the website, like the legit post.
Mm-hmm.
You know who does that one?
Yeah.
The dumb ones, it's kind of me.
You gotta learn. You can grab some reels from this show when once it airs, we'll send it to you.
I started playing around with it a little more, trying to get it out there.
It can become very rabbit hole-y.
Yeah,
like you could fall down and like, I'm gonna do a couple posts and I'm gonna go do some more work 4 hours later.
Exactly. Well, when the bags are getting packaged, we're gonna have a bunch of video and stuff that's gonna be kind of showing up on social media, like how kind of gets done. Like pictures of the smokehouses, like different stuff. Because everybody's always asking me, like, "Are you making?" I'm like, "Well, I don't anymore, but they're my recipes. I'll show you guys how on social media how it's actually done." It's wild.
Now, quick question, because I'm looking at this, like for a guy like you who has created these things, it has all the ingredients on the back. I guess it just doesn't know the amount of each one, right?
Like, secret one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you keep things like this secretively so nobody can go mass produce? Like Jack can go, I'm going to take a package and we're gonna duplicate this.
So you can do it, but here's the thing: you don't know the amount of the stuff that I'm in, so you're going to be messing around with it. So all the ingredients have to be on there, but there's usually a thing in there that just says spices. That's okay.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
So there you go.
You don't have to say which spices.
Mm-mm.
It's freaking awesome.
So, but if you use a certain sauce, the sauce gets broken down. Use a seasoning blend, that gets broken down, but you can just put spices in there. And
the one question I actually have for you is the wifey. We got to talk about her for a second. She is awesome. Yeah. She's awesome. And
she's been there the whole time.
Very supportive, which is amazing. But if she was here and I asked her point blank with true serum in her, do you like jerky now or still or whatever? Do you think she's over jerkified?
Yeah, she still eats the pickle all the time. That's
still
her
eats
favorite.
it all the time?
Yeah. I mean, she's very picky, but like the pickle is the one that she likes. And she's not a real crazy spicy person. And I know I have a lot of spicier jerkies because that's kind of what I like.
Yeah.
It's also kind of one of the main routes to go down.
Yeah. I mean, if you want sweet, I mean, it's teriyaki, but that's kind of where my honey bourbon is a little on the sweeter side. Same with the maple. But yeah, now she's coming around.
You should package like a bunch of teriyaki, but put the other, but it's not.
So-
you got, here's your teriyaki. Just shit up.
Well, my thing is I turn around and say, well, I got something better. Try the honey bourbon.
Mhm.
And then it tastes like, oh yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
all right, forget teriyaki.
Do I live in a Mandela effect? Was there at one point a Reaper one and a Ghost Pepper one, or did the Reaper become Ghost?
So the Ghost Pepper one was pretty spicy, and then I had more feedback on the Reaper, so I just stuck with the Reaper.
Okay.
You had better feedback or more
better feedback. Like people are like, all right, this is better because it's got like the Reaper's complex because it's spicy, but it actually tastes like something and it lingers. And the more you eat, the more it compounds and gets spicier. So the events are the best because I always get the macho guys. This ain't spicy. This ain't shit. So they come up, they eat it, and then so the one was at Thornberry Farm. This guy was drinking, and he's like, "I can eat anything hot." I was like, "All right, well, go ahead, bud." So he chews it. All of a sudden, the pepper gets him in the back of the throat.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Turns around, grabs his wife's like wine spritzer and starts chugging. I was like, man, that's manly. His head just was down.
Marketing fruit.
I got him good. I was like, so how about that spice? He's like,
oh, by the way, did your wife want to come in with a real man?
Yeah. You know? And well, then I turned around. I was like, you owe your wife a new spritzer because he chugged it and everything. It was great.
When the pandemic happened, and I was working still remotely. I was working from the Ridley studio we had, and I've ruined more than one, maybe two, maybe three Zoom meetings by going like, my breakfast will be eating the Reaper Pet, like whatever on air, like on the screen. I learned my lesson.
Job.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like people don't understand it. It bites back. That's all I tell them. I'm like it's hot. Oh, I do hot. I do this. I do that. I'm like, okay.
It's dude. Like it's like not like it's not aggressive to the point where it ruins it, but it is. Dude, some bites will fucking get.
Well, that's the good part about it. It keeps you on your toes.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Ooh, there he is.
I get the certain few that are like, oh, this isn't hot. I'm like, well, you're that 10% that wants me to make something hotter. That why am I going to produce something that only 10% of people are going to like?
Yeah, that's not enjoyable. It's one thing when like I like hot, I like spicy. I don't want it to the point where it's just painful at this point.
If it's not enjoyable, why even?
Right.
Like you can get through a bag of Reaper.
A bag of torture. How pleasant.
Yeah.
So I have a friend. I made one.
I would just package some broken glass and tell him to chew on it.
I made one spicier than that Reaper for him. And he's eating it, and he's sweating. He's red. He's like, "Oh, this is awesome." I was like, "What is enjoyable with that right now?" He's like dying. I'm like, "No, there's no reason." Yeah, I wouldn't want to be his toilet after he ate that. I mean, this sauce I made was like purple. Like,
have you ever created something that just didn't work?
Yes. So again, I tried fruit with. I tried this blueberry. Like a blueberry, kind of spicy blueberry on jerky. Just something different was messing around with.
Well, it's not crazy because you do the maple. And it's like,
so I was like, blueberry's kind of good.
I actually had blueberry with a barbecue before, and it was blueberry cornbread.
Okay.
And I believe it's our friends over at Wilson's who had it. My God, it was good. And it was a good mixture with the meat I was eating. So maybe not on it, but the mixture's not off-brand. What was the one that sounded great on paper, but just completely? Would you say the blueberry one? Or
the blueberry one probably. I mean, I have probably 30 different, varieties that I can make. I'm just trying to figure out which ones will actually
be more productive. Yeah.
And why have so many beef ones? I'm going to start breaking into like the chicken.
Yeah,
pork,
that's an interesting idea.
Now, turkey, that's an interesting concept too to me. Like,
so
now, would you get the same type of consistency with turkey as you do chicken, or no?
Yeah, chicken and turkey are kind of the same, but we did do a run of the whiskey peach on the turkey, and we got the peach into it, and we just couldn't get that whiskey to kind of sit. So we tried a bunch of them, and then we found this whiskey in Maryland to use for the bourbon. It's a bourbon, so we're going to use that.
Sticks to your ribs.
Yeah, it's got that bite to it that I'm looking for, so we're going to probably run that probably January.
You sit there like when you're figuring out, go, a little bit for me, a little bit for you.
Oh, of
A
course.
little bit for me.
So the funny part is I made the marinade for the whiskey peach and I let it sit and it kind of got like thicker. My mom does not drink whatsoever. I was like, try this, Mom. She's sitting there. She takes a spoonful of it. She's like, man, this is good. She ended up putting it on ice cream.
USDA, like really crazy with like mass manufacturing chicken. Because I mean, that has to be at a certain temperature.
Yeah. So anything with
poultry,
any meat.
Oh,
the USDA. So like my co-packer has a USDA. They like, have to have an office. They get audited. Like,
yeah.
The USDA is legit. Like you have certain procedures. It's called a HACCP plan. So I looked into.
Not like a hassle.
Yeah. So I looked into making a kitchen at my house because in PA you can do it.
Yeah.
So I could only turn around and sell it to people. I could never resell it in a store.
Gotcha.
So I had to make the
decision.
decision.
I could give it directly to the people, not have them buy it in the store. And
yeah,
I guess because then you have to worry about lawsuits from the store on top of it. Gotcha.
So yeah, I get caught. So then that's kind of why I went to the co-packer route, to where they kind of take the responsibility of the USDA, which is
like me. You're pretty much paying them for.
Yeah, it's me trying to start something up with that with the USDA is.
You would have to start your own factory or something at that point. Yeah,
that's not in the cards yet. You never know though.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
love it. It's a true Delco success story. Literally seeing you turn it from like you said, man. A lot of
you
people,
guys have seen everything.
Yeah, from a hobby, from just going around, just throwing it out, like making it for your friends, and trying to get it into bars and all that stuff.
Well, that's what the tag on the back of the label is. Started as a hobby, became in demand, and Fat Cow was born.
Became in demand. I like that fucking phrase right in the middle.
It really did. Everybody was like,
yeah.
I'd go into Callies and they'd be like, yo, do you have any more? I'm like, I'm sold out. They're like, better have it next week. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Turn into demand.
Drunk, angry guys.
Dude, it's awesome. And like you said, man, you reached the jumping off point through tragedy, but it put that kick in the ass. Like, fucking do it, man.
It did. Yeah. I just went, you know what? Watch this. Like, because if so many people were like, you're never gonna make it anything. You know, it's just a hobby. I'm like, all right, watch this.
You heard that in my basement too, Holbrook.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's kind of cool to basically show people, and you know, the supporters come after all the hard work's done, which is funny. You know,
I've been loving you guys since the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We get that a lot. But guys, we talk about them all the time. We hear you say that Fat Cow Jerky. You hear
it's something fun to say.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say it with that. You got to say in that voice. You know, you got to know how it is. It's like when you say Mickey Morandini, you cannot not say it that way.
Mickey Morandini.
Yeah, Fat Cow Jerky. So guys, check them out. Fat Cow Jerky. Ron's great story, and be a part of it. Like it isn't just okay. Here's a guy who started doing something locally, and now he's making money and doing it. That's cool. It's great. No, like. You got off to that point where most people give up. So
yeah, that's where the Sweet and Snack Expo, where I met all these distributors, and like out in the Midwest, there's a high demand for it. So I'm rolling. People are emailing me.
Nobody try to go and go, I'm gonna buy this from you.
2 people.
Yeah.
Mentioned my flavors. They're like, what do we got to do to get them, or work with you on that? I said,
yeah.
That's how I know.
$1 billion. Well,
that's how I know I'm doing something right. I'm on
Ron Link's Jerky. Change the name by the end of the year. I'm the CEO. Yeah, we can make that happen.
We can make that happen. And I want your wife. The total cuckold story.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's
Hogan's penis is 10 inches.
Just in case.
Mine isn't, but Hulk Hogan's is.
Hulk Hogan jerky.
Terry's isn't, but Hulk Hogan's is. Take that to the bank, guys. We will see you next time.